From Daily Forex, this is Chris taking a look at the Bitcoin market and interesting signal for the trading session. As things stand right now, we're forming a hammer right at the 50-day EMA, sitting just at 10,000. Now, if you've been watching this channel for some time, you know I'm not a Bitcoin believer. I don't believe in it at all. But what I am is a trader, and I recognize what the technical analysis tells me. I got a lot of flack about a year and a half ago from 19,000 down to 4,000 about how I thought Bitcoin was in a bubble. It was going to implode, I should say. And a lot of believers out there really hated it. And there's a lesson in that. So in my case, I don't believe in Bitcoin. I think it's far too volatile to actually ever be money. But being a trader, being a technical analyst type of person, I recognize the chart for what it is. And what this tells me is that the market is testing the 50-day EMA. It sits just below 10,000, and it's formed a hammer. Bitcoin is one of those things that people get too emotionally attached or repulsed from. But the lesson here is take this away and maybe replace it with Apple. Think of it as an Apple stock chart, or gold, or whatever it is you truly do think has a value. So what does this tell you? It tells you that if we break above $10,000, it's very likely that we'll make a run towards 12. And even if we break the bottom of this hammer, which is traditionally a very negative turn of events, the 8,000 level should also be supportive. So whether I believe in Bitcoin or not is totally irrelevant, and there had been a lot of discussion about that, about how wrong I was. But I was right. I was being wrong all the way down because I was looking at it from an outsider's perspective. I'm still looking at it from an outsider's perspective, and I recognize that it's in an uptrend. Some people will point out the M pattern. Yes, that's very negative. That's why if we do break below 8,000, that could be trouble. But until we do that, it's just a simple pullback with a little bit of a double top up here at 14. But when you think about it, it hasn't been that long that we were down at 4,000. It's not normal to go from 4,000 to 14,000 in anything. I mean, I realize Bitcoin can move like that. But for those of you hoping Bitcoin, goes to the moon, as it were, you don't want to see a lot of moves like this. You want to see moves more like this, and then maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then this, and then a little bit of a pullback, and then the next leg higher. You don't want it to get to $250,000 tomorrow. Having said all of that, the technical analysis does set up above 10,000 that we should see money jumping back in.